I'd like to get a nice hound on cam. Get a hound tonight, that's the main aim, I guess. Get a nice hound, get a hound tonight, hound on camera. So, hello and welcome to another episode from the water's edge. Today, you catch up with us back on the beach and hooked in to the first fish of the session. And we're out tonight after hounds. There's been a few caught, so we're pretty confident walking down here. And I think it started rather well. We've only been down here fishing about, I don't know, half an hour, second chuck, something like that. And we've got the first fish, proper good bite, proper craned the rod over. And he's really now pulling the surf. So I'm going to concentrate and get him in, and hopefully we'll have a nice one to show you. Well, what about that for a start? Exactly what we're after, and that was very lightly. There's probably a bit of commotion there as you see him coming up the beach. He was so lightly hooked, literally as I've tailed him, he's unhooked himself. But that is a fantastic start, and we're not even at the best bit of the tide yet. As I say, this is like second chuck, so fingers crossed, it might be the first of a few fish and a good night. But we'll get this one slipped back, get another bait ready. It's all a bit of a hectic start. I literally put that fish back, come back up the beach, and it looks like someone has cut the line on this, proper slack line job. There's another fish here. It don't feel as heavy as that first one, but just take it steady. It's now woke up a little bit just in the surf. I'm all out of breath. It's just surfaced like there. Yeah. Smaller chap than the first one, but a nice fish all the same. He actually broke surface about 30 yards out, thrashing around. Feisty little chap. But he smashed that bit of crab and that worm. So we'll get him unhooked and we'll get another bait ready. Then we'll tell you a little more about what we're using and what we're doing tonight. But what an unbelievable start. And I think probably we'll do a bit of a session like this. We're putting a few recently, putting a bit of time. And it's good when it all comes together. So get him unhooked and get him back. So what an unbelievable start to the session that was. Probably, I think, the best way we've kicked off a sea fishing video in all the times we've been doing it. And I cannot tell you how good it is to get something like that on camera. You know, we've been out a good few times over the past few weeks, and yeah, that sort of makes it all worthwhile. But we're down here again this evening. We're at probably my favourite bit of beach up North Norfolk, and that's Trimmingham. Now, the last couple of weeks we haven't been able to get down here. The gate's actually been shut, which is up the top there, which allows us to have access. And that was because last year in the winter there was actually a massive landslide. Now, if you're local to us, you've probably seen it on the local news and in the papers, but if you can just see it behind me there, they had a huge sheet of cliff come off in all the sort of winter storms. So tons and tons of cliff and rubble and mud was all pretty much, I think it went out almost to the end of the groin. So that's why we've not been able to get down here, but by the looks of it behind, a fair bit of it's been washed away. And as I said tonight, we're actually fishing the tide going out, so we've got no worries about being cut off, because, you know, obviously safety's the most important thing. But that's where we are anyway, and that's the state of the tide. So rig-wise tonight, what we're using, I'll give you one guess. You can drop it in the comments below, and that is the good old pulley pennel. Pair of Frio hooks. Like normal, it's quite a short pennel on this one. I vary with lengths and messed around with them. I think I've got one long one and one fairly short pennel, but they're the rigs we're using. Bait wise, we've got some worm with us, we've got some lug, and we've got a bit of rag. Now, I was undecided tonight. You know, that's one of them. There's been quite a few smooth hands caught, but you know, with our luck recently, we should have been here yesterday, or you should have been here the tide before. So I thought I'd bring some worm with me and sort of hedge our bets a little bit, because if there weren't any hounds, you've got far more chance of catching a few schoolies and perhaps some flounder with worm. But while I was there with my smooth hand head on, I was desperately trying to get some crab, and I've got an old pack here of velvet swimmers which I think I dug out of the freezer, which I've not got a lot of faith in, but luckily again, a friend of mine on Facebook, Pete, a huge shout out to him again, he's managed to raid his freezer and sort us out with a little pack of sort of crab claws and crab legs, and yeah, believe it or not, that is what we've been putting on, sort of 2 ragworm and a couple of these, and just the smell of that is enough to get us them hounds, because you know that they absolutely love them. But all I've been doing is getting a couple of them out the packet, and then just sort of tapping them slightly with the stone. So you sort of, I got 4 pieces like that, if you can see them, just to break that shell a little bit and let out a little bit of sort of, you know, smell and attraction. But I'm going to get this one baited up now. I'm going to go with, we'll go with a couple of rag this time. I'm sort of mixing it between really. I'll put one out with sort of worm, lugworm, and a couple of the claws, and then I'll do this one with a bit of rag. But yeah, you know, it's amazing sometimes. The times you fished on the beach and you've had the best sort of peeler money you can buy, and you know, you're using nice big full crabs, you know, and you catch nothing. It's all about if the fish are there, you know. So much of sea fishing it's all based around the tides and the conditions, and you know, it just sort of shows, you know, when it's right, you can certainly catch them. I think if you followed our channel for a few years, you'll probably remember the video we done down here, I don't know, that was probably 2-3 years ago now, when the bait got washed away, you know, and that was an absolute classic case of that. You know, we were using like used half crabs and, you know, still catching on them. But I'm going free worms. They're still like a fairly large bait. It's just to get plenty of scent in the water really, and you never know, there might be a chance of a nice bass or something too. So they're the worms on there, and then all I've been doing is getting one of the claws and literally just sort of hooking it on like I was a worm. So that's only just on like that, but then fold it back slightly on itself, get your other 2 claws and legs, and sort of hold it all together like so. Then if I can just get my bait elastic, and then just whip it on really. I mean, as I say, there's enough smell and attraction in that you know, that's done the business so far anyway. I mean, if you were really anal, like, you know, I guess you could peel each of the legs individually and stuff, but you know, I think they just come in and smash it all up. When they're eating these crab out there, they're certainly not, you know, they don't peel them before they eat them anyway. They just steam in and take the lot. But plenty of elastic just to keep it tight. I'll probably nip that tail off there as well. But yeah, that's what we've used so far, and that's what's produced the fish. So I'm going to get that one out there, and yeah, fingers crossed we'll be able to check back in with another fish very soon. Just hooked into another fish, proper slack line bite again. I think I just got there in time before it charged off, and I think we're on to another little smoothie. But he's not far away now, he's just wallowing away in that surf, so we'll get him up and we'll show you what we got. Another cracking smoothie, probably almost a carbon copy of that one we had a little while ago, but great fight, great bite, and yeah, I love it when a plan comes together. But we'll get him slipped back see if we can get a bigger one. Another knock, 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 slack line bite, and I'm just winding down now, and we got him. Just had that lead away. And for anyone who don't know, basically, obviously, you know, a slack line bite is obviously everything's under tension when your lead is gripped in the sand. But when you catch a bigger fish, obviously it has the weight behind it to pull that lead out, and when it does that, obviously a line goes slack, and yeah, that's just known. And depending on what way the tides go and the fish and all your tackle drifts down that way. But that's why you sort of wind down as quickly as you can, get tight to the fish, and yeah, we've got another one hooked up. So we're gonna have another one to show you, I'm pretty sure, unless something goes wrong. But he's not too far away now. A smaller chap this time, and he's actually taken the top hook of the pennel, which was the one which was predominantly the ragworm on, but I'm sure you'll just see that they're little bound up crab claws just on the other hook, and without a doubt that's what he's come in for. But what a mint fish he is. They've all been in really good condition tonight, fighting fit, and yeah, certainly loving the crab. But we'll get him unhooked and we'll get him back. It's been a little bit of a sort of quiet half an hour really, but we're now, I think it's about 10 o'clock, so we're about an hour away from the bottom of the tide. So I think we're certainly going to fish to the bottom and then perhaps a little bit over. We'll see what happens, but we're really losing the light now as well. Sun's setting behind the cliffs over there, and it should really sort of be, you know, that witching hour. I said it loads of times, but coinciding with the bottom of the tide, it getting dark, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a few more fish out there. But one thing, as temperatures dropped a little, so I think it's going to get my jumper on. We'll get the tip lights on the rods just so we can see a bit better, and probably have a freshen up with the baits and see what happens. I'm not sure how long we're going to give it. We'll just see how it goes really, but we'll fingers crossed be able to show you a few more fish. Well, I think we've got another fish on now. Got the tip lights on and got my jumper on, and this one proper arced over in the tide. I thought I was going to have the rod away, but it doesn't feel overly massive. I'm guessing it's another hound on them little crab's legs again, and the worm. He's going well, but they don't sort of feel a lot of weight to him, you know. So if I had to have a pound on it, I'd say similar size to the last ones we've had. Another fighting fit Norfolk smoothie. Great sport, great fight, great bite, and a fish I just absolutely love catching. I don't really get much better like this. On a night like tonight, lovely weather, flat calm sea, and fish are feeding as well. So I don't know how much longer we're going to give it, to be honest with you. There's a little bit of mayweed in the water now, which is probably the angler's worst enemy at this time of year, and it's making things a little bit difficult, but that is another fine fish, so we'll get him slipped back and get another bait out there. we are hooked into another fish, and this one generally nearly had the rod in half on the rest. Literally, it's probably been out there, I don't know, 1 minute perhaps maximum, almost like you could have taken it on the drop. And it feels a lot better fish. There feels a bit more weight to it than what there has them last couple. We've got a bit of sort of broken ground in front of us, so I think I'm just gonna have to step out a little bit to get him over that, but hopefully we're gonna have another nice one to show you. He's not too far away now. He's charging up and down the beach. I'm intrigued now to see if if he is a bit big or if he's just a small one who's charged up, but just taking it steady with him. Oh, he's going. But he's not too far away. Well, he's made me look a bit silly, he has. Honestly, he felt 2-3 times bigger than that, but still a nice fish, and perhaps marginally bigger, but he's obviously had his Weetabix this morning because he did charge off. And I say, it's almost like he had it on the drop, it came that quickly, but it can be like that. It's been a bit like that tonight, to be honest, with your hectic burst, one rod go, second rod go, and yeah, we've had a good few of these now. But we'll get him unhooked and we'll get him back. Well, just bringing in the last rod and the last bait of the evening, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to end it with a fish, but it has been a thoroughly enjoyable session. And I know I've probably said it 2 or 3 times tonight, but it's just nice to come out and catch some bigger fish, nice to come out and catch the target species. And you know, after putting a little bit of time in recently, it's sessions like this that make it worthwhile. And some nice fish on camera, plenty of smooth hound, and it has been thoroughly enjoyable. So if you want to look out for some more sea fishing videos coming soon, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And all that's left to say is thanks for watching, be lucky, and we'll see you again on the next one.